DRMCs and PDRMOs, and other preparedness and response agencies. The Department of Labor and Employment conducted a profiling activity on beneficiaries of tulong pangkabuhayan sa ating mga displaced or TUPAD. TUPAD aims to give a short-term emergency employment to areas hit by calamities. DNR donated 1 truckload of charcoal and firewood worth 538,000 pesos to the provincial government of Albay for distribution to the evacuees. It also conducted ambient air quality sampling at areas affected by Mayon volcano eruption. The AFP facilitated availability of aircraft to be used for aerial survey of Mayon volcano and assisted in the evacuation of residents. It also conducted checkpoints and choke points in the extended permanent danger zones. The PNP provided security at the evacuation centers, likewise in the evacuation of residents. The DOTR and the Philippine Coast Guard assisted in, likewise in the transportation of relief goods. The Philippine Coast Guard deployed also their transportation assets for the transportation of relief goods. Total cost of assistance as of this date is 80.8 million, provided by various national government agencies, as well as the LGUs and NGOs. As way ahead, the NDRMC puts forward the following. First is the sustainment of relief operations and augmentation of LGU capacity, as well as planning for the worst-case scenario as painted by PBOLs. Next is the conduct of immediate bayanihan for the improvement of existing evacuation centers. The following will be tasked or will provide their contribution, LGUs to provide space and as well as continued water supply. The AFP volunteers availability of manpower for the construction or improvement activities in the evacuation centers. DOAs to provide the toilet bowls, and OCD will provide funds for the other logistical requirements, utilizing the Quick Response Fund. We also should consider the provision of early recovery interventions, such as cash for work from DSWD, as well as consider providing assistance for alternative livelihood to affected populations. And shown are the various agencies which have these programs. That ends my presentation, sir. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Yusek Halad. For now, may we request the President for his guidance.
Sir, I am just curious. I am a layman's grasp of the situation. What's the worst that can happen to Mayon? Yung pinaka-problema natin abutin.
Yung pinaka-worst po, yung pagsabog ng malakas at gugulong yung pyroclastic flow. Kaya po tayo nag-extend ng danger zone sa 8 kilometers. So kailangan walang tao doon. Usually po, yung pinakita ko pong picture ng 1984, hanggang 7 kilometers po yun. Yun yung worst case na nakikita namin. Now, pagkatapos po nun, ang mas may problema ay yung lahar. Kasi po, pag inanod ng ulan, yung mga abot bato, yung lahar ay umaabot sa mga kabayanan ng Albay at mga national road. So, dapat babantayan natin mabuti po yun.
So, as in every catastrophic event, whether man-made or nature, we face the same problem. It is a recurring one. First is the problem of human beings being kept from a distance or removed from the danger zone and to provide for the services. Ito yung isa sa mga mahirap na trabaho ng gobyerno. How to handle human beings in case of a crisis. So there is a short-term as from what I have experienced so far, and the long term. Yung short term is food and well, an increased surveillance of contamination. Usually, if there is a congregation there near each other, infection can break away in a matter of days. Contamination ng lahat. So it is always demanded of the situation that we safeguard health. So we have to provide temporary shelters. Itong karamihan tents, and they are exposed to the ravages of nature. Sa labas, and the psychological impact on the people, education is cut temporarily, and these are the things that we have to worry. So first is, sabi nga ni Governor, is I will take care first of the food, which you're running short. I'll give you about, kanong pera mo? I'll give you initially today 20 million, and I will augment it tomorrow by sending about 50 for the operation, lahat na for pagkain, and I'm interested in the hygiene or sanitation of the place. So in the meantime, if there is none constructed, we have to somehow deliver a sanitary way of disposing human waste, and that could be like if there are available portable toilets in Manila, we can always send them by maybe I'm still pupunta kasi ako ng Marawi pa to distribute the temporary shelters. So I will just ask somebody in my office to take care of where to find for it and send them immediately. Maybe ipasa ko na lang sa kay Defense Secretary so that he can request the AFP to transport them as immediately as it is possible. It is available. May pera ang agriculture so that kung mayroon pa akong madukot, hindi ko pakialaman yan, just focus that fund for rehab sa agriculture damage. Malaki yan man. Agriculture pati yung infrastructures. I said if Mr. Soledom says it right, yung baba ng lahar would also destroy our roads and bridges and infrastructure. We have to keep track of that. But ang problema ngayon is pagkain and sanitation and health. So I suppose that from the presentation that was given, medyo okay naman siguro. If there's a shortfall or something, so let me know so that I can bring the matter to my office so that somebody can move. Ang long term is the rehab of agriculture. Maraming pera ang DA. Karami mo pera, 100 million. Well, everybody has a fund for that. Every department has always a component for a crisis. Lahat yan sila. I suppose that everybody was doing his work, contributing, not much, not exactly on equal with the others. There can be no parity of money in the contribution, but at least the machinery of government is working. So the short term is really ang pagkain, health, and sanitation and everything. The second is really cleaning up and improving on the evacuation centers as much as possible to protect the people from nature. Especially, it's an open thing, and they can children especially are vulnerable to colds and fever and everything. Bantayan lang yan. It would take a intense surveillance of the part of the DOH na walang mangyaring yung magkalat na. So one worry really is sanitation. And DOH maybe can provide something, but we will try to send as many as we can gather and find itong mga portable toilets. Somebody has to supervise from the health office dito or DOH for its upkeep. It's a closed enclosure, and there must be some sort of cleaning. Maybe some chemicals there that are not really harmful kasi sarado yan eh. Pangpalinis lang just to contain an emerging disease whatsoever. Yun lang naman ang nakita ko, and if there's any complaint about how we responded, maybe I can hear it now para if it's money, I'm leaving paint right now. Saan yung pera? Bigay mo na kay... Salamat, ha? Right. So, you have 25 initially. Spend it the way you want, but for the people. Wala akong ano dyan. Pagkain, sanitation, I said, is very important. We will remedy the situation. Yan talaga ang problema, even in Marawi. And for the years that I've been with the local government, it's almost the same. Fire, flood, ganon. Bantayan lang ninyo yung sakit, pati it's aggravated by a poorly attended to sanitation or hygiene. So, ang pinaka dyan is important is DOH. Including lahat naman siguro, this money of Secretary Piñol is offering. He has 100 million kung gusto. But if there's an immediate and urgent need to spend for agricultural aspects in this crisis, Secretary Piñol and ito si with the Undersecretary Puyat sa Agriculture, they're ready to give the money. Anytime. Quick Reaction Fund. So, mas mabuti yung it's geared towards agricultural problems muna to take care. But we will be there to rehabilitate. It's a matter of how far the destruction of lahar would cause on the soil of your province. Yun lang ang worry natin. Nothing grows. You have to wait over time for the soil to get the characteristics of a usable for plant and for living thing. Sana maghinto na lang. Kaya ako nagbiro ako, Governor, nung umalis ako, I was really worried because I was going to India. And ayaw ko sana magpunta, but you'd know later that it could cause some diplomatic... so I had to go, and I was able also to get something from them, both our support for ASEAN. So pero nung nagsalita ako, sabi ko sa airport, birong bata. Sabi ko na kung if you happen to meet Miss Mayon, sabihin mo sa kanya, galit ako sa At tiniming pa niya yung magdadala ako ng problema doon sa sino ba naman may gusto, so I have to keep track of everything. Every now and then I'd like to I ask my aide to show me what's modern technology is really very, very good. So I'll keep track of the physical and the unseen problems of a situation, which also called like ang gusto ko lang malaman dito kung may reklamo na kulang ang aming response. If there's a short of the services that we are expected to do, let me know kasi gagawin natin kaagad. Maybe we will always have some money for you. I'm sure. Huwag lang magsabay itong lahat ng bulkano sa Pilipinas. Kung sabayan ito ng Mount Apo, yung sa akin, malaki yung problema yon. But the last time it was glowing, I was high school. So, yung ganon, yung started with like a flare at a distance, and it stopped. Because siguro sabi ni Mayon, wag mo akong unahan. Let me explode first. I don't know why, but bakit ang mga Bicolano ang inuna? Marami namang, of course, Pinatubo was also really hell for us. So, in any situation, in any country, at any time or event, always remember that if a thing can go wrong, it will go wrong. Just like ngayon. So sabihin ninyo ngayon kung anong sorry, may Tagalog. Ano pagkukulang namin. You stick with your Bicolano, ito mga Tagalog, mahirap. Pagkukulang, we will try to answer, mitigate or remedy the situation.
This
Yes,
morning, sir, before you arrived, we held a farmers consultation in Girubatan, Albay, and we already addressed all of the concerns of agriculture.
Okay.
We already have a program. In fact, we're ready with the seeds. 6,000 lang po yung tinamaan, pero ready po yung 10,000 natin. And we are ready with our loaning program. And then yung mga vegetable farmers na tinamaan, next week po bibigyan ng tolda para yung gulay nila ng assets. Apo.
Alam mo, let me just introduce my cabinet members to you. Yung, hindi naman resume, but the track record. Secretary Pinoli comes from the North Cotabato. Mga Ilonggo pati Ilocano ang marami dyan. Was once the mayor, then he became governor. And alam niya ang problema sa itong agriculture with the tips of his hands. So wala tayong problema. Tingin lang sila, meron na yung mahawak ng pera. So sabi nila, okay, 100 million. So sabihin ko kaagad sa inyo 100 million. Kung meron pang iba, maybe I can send somebody here say personal. Hindi naman ako makabalik. Marami akong trabaho. My special emissary, assistant si Attorney Tolentino, si Francis, used to be the mayor of Tagaytay City. Siya na lang ang pabalik-balikin ko. Others, if you have something about energy, Secretary ko is here. DILG, General Anyo, used to be the Chief of Staff. Ang Chief of Staff ngayon si Jagger Guerrero, but is also slated to retire. He's the next Marina Chief because the other one is always traveling. If you want to travel, mag-ambassador at large ka. Huwag mong sasayangan yung pera ng gobyerno. For those who have traveled more than 20 in a year, you have a problem with me. Sigurado yan. Including local governments. So, there's an order that nobody goes out without my permission. It doesn't mean to say that I want to curtail. Ayaw ko namang papa-importante sa buhay ninyo. But even dito sa akin, started with mine. There was a lot of travels na presidente na ako. And I didn't know about it. Because I do not approve it personally. It goes to Medial Dia, the executive secretary. But now, I will go over it. Walang ano yan. Alam ko yan kasi pati kami noong fiscal pa kami, patawag kami dyan sa seminar. Hindi ako nag-attend. Sasawa ako dyan sa yung iba, that's different because you go out junket. Pinatignan ko doon sa record, yung perma mo pag, tali lang naman, papicturan mo lang doon yung nagperma, nag-attend ng meeting, tapos yung certificate mo ba? And no, when you use government money, when you go back, you have to make a report. If you're a local official, then make a report to the DILG. And this is what happened there, what we talk about, and these are the pure gems that I collected and how I spent the money. Ang problema, nagwawala lahat eh. So, I am ready to answer your question, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor,
Yes. Oh, no.
Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Good
Thank you so much for visiting us here in
Yes, ma'am.
Albay. I am Mayor Cristel Lagman Luis from Tabaco City.
Nagsama ba tayo sa
Yes,
11th
sir.
Congress, ha?
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Again, sir. Yes. Among the food, the immediate needs, like food, health and sanitation, one of the immediate needs would be for the displaced learners. And DepEd has allocated temporary learning spaces. Pero ang nasabit pa lang po namin at na-download sa mga regional offices and division, yung initial reports namin po, Mr. President, na hindi pa na-raise sa alert level 4. Ngayon po, Tabaco, naka-receive na po ng allocation na 28, pero ang 28 pong yun, base lang sa 500 families na nag-evacuate. Ngayon po, may additional 1,300 families na. So, ang dagdag po ng temporary learning space sa Tabaco lang po is approximately 48. So, palagay ko po dapat ma-address to, Mr. President, lalong-lalo na marami pang mga schools ang hindi pa po patuloy ang kanilang pagklase. May suspended pa pong mga klase. Tabaco lang po ito. Palagay ko ganun din po na experience ng mga kasama ko.
It's almost universal.
Yes, universal
And the
po yan.
places
We need
sit
more
by the-
TLS, temporary learning spaces. Another po, Mr. President, pagkain lang po ang binibigay natin through the DSWD at wala akong masabi, talagang napakaganda rin po na suporta nila. Ang problema po, hindi lang naman po pagkain ang kailangan. Kailangan din nila ng paggastos sa ibang pangangailangan nila habang nasa evacuation center. And we're talking about displaced farmers. We do not allow them to farm back doon sa permanent danger zone. So, wala po talaga silang hanap buhay. Maganda at merong tupad program ang DOLE, pero po, ang request ko nga, kasi 10 days lang po ito at computed at 290 pesos a day. So, that would be around 2,900 per family kung tatargetin natin na kada pamilya mabibigyan ng isang tupad worker. At ang pasweldo po nito is every 10 days. Pero po ang pangangailangan, hindi po every 10 days. Kaya sabi ko po sa ating regional director, kung maaari, maging at least man lang twice or even thrice ang pasweldo dito sa 10 araw na to. Ang 10 araw pong ito, para lang sa short term talaga, paano po kung nag-extend to ng buwan? So sana po madagdagan rin ang suporta para sa emergency employment. Dahil hindi lang po food, para may cash needs din po ang ating mga evacuees. So ilimit ko muna po doon sa dalawang yon kasi baka yung iba kong mga kasama may napapansin rin na mga pangangailangan na maaari pong matugunan ng pagbisita ninyo sa amin. Maraming salamat po.
That was the predicate that was given to me, to us by Secretary Mayon for those displaced and emergency assistance. There's 100 million for that.
Ang alam ko po, livelihood support, Mr. President. Oo, pero hindi na sila maka-farm back doon. Kaya kung seeds naman to, hindi pa nila maitatanim po ito. So, ang kailangan po nila is talagang employment outside their farms.
Let me ask Secretary Piñol to answer you, ma'am. He might be in a better position to explain it further.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And that was President
Ma'am.
Rodrigo Duterte there getting an update from officials in Albay with regards to Mayon volcano's eruption. Now, the president, after the briefing, questioned officials on the worst-case scenario should the volcano experience a hazardous eruption. Now, he advises them to plan for both short and long term. He says that the government must handle the problem of people being removed from the
Mga farmers na registered sa RSBSA, or which is the registry system for basic sectors in agriculture. Ito po yung talaan ng mga farmers na talagang accredited. No? So sa bawat farming family, meron po tayong pinapautang, walang interest, walang collateral, over the next 3 years, 5,000 po para pabili nila ng pagkain. Yun po yung immediate na pwede namin ma-release. In fact, kanina po, Mr. President, sa ginubatan, I told the mayors who were there na pwede nating i-release to starting next week. Kasi po dadaan pa po kami sa proseso. We have to find a conduit na magbababa po kami ng pera sa isang conduit. And then after that, the next amount would be 20,000. Ito na po yung recovery loan. Wala din pong collateral, wala din pong interest. Pero ito po, pambilhan na nila ng binhi, abono, at kung ano pagkailangan nila para mag-recover sila. Ito po yung immediate po na pwede natin gagawin, Mr. President.
Well, I think really the urgent problem would be every time yung hanap buhay pati. In the meantime, that aside from being food on the stomach, the other things that they would need personally as ano nila, sanitation, everything, clothes, and maybe jackets if they are still out there. This would be, Francis, just kindly take note of the problem. I will discuss this with you and the Secretary. We have a cabinet meeting coming up. As good as any other time to really bring it up. Mayroon kaming cabinet meeting. In the meantime, mag-hold muna tayo, lalo na pagkain. At yung surveillance ng intense surveillance about infections and diseases in evacuation areas. Most important is really yung sanitation. Kasi kung baskas-basaan lang, sigurado yan. Dysentery yan. If there is no place where in the meantime we can really place them in a safe, kailangan mo ng mga tawag nito, yung binubuhos dyan sa agwa, I forgot the name, but it stinks, but it is good for sanitation. Cryolina. Sabi ko nga, it stinks, but you put it at least a little bit distance.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to share with the mayors DSWD's program we call the Sustainable Livelihood Program. We are able to provide capital or employment facilitation to the beneficiaries. And in this case, we should be able to provide capital to we should be able to provide small amounts to the beneficiaries in the affected areas. We also have, I understand, we also check how many SLP beneficiaries we currently have in the area, and we will continue to provide that support. We also have cash forward, and in relation to the problem being experienced by DA or other agencies, we'd like to make the cash forward payouts more frequently so that they will be able to receive the cash as they need. The Pantawid beneficiaries, this morning we already met with the regional office, and we decided that we will call for the suspension of the conditionality so that our beneficiaries will be able to receive the cash without having to meet the conditions for the Pantawid program. So, Mr. President, I think in addition to what DA, what DOLE provide, DSWD can also offer its cash for work, its sustainable livelihood program, our Pantawid programs to the beneficiaries of our program within the affected areas. I hope that helps, and let us know how we can further enhance our program in your area. Thank you very much.
My only question is, when do you start? Or when can it start?
We already discussed this morning, and we made a decision, and therefore we should start immediately.
Tomorrow?
Right now, we were already able to download about 20 million pesos worth of family food packs and non-food items to the region.
I'll just, hindi ako mahilig ng committee. I'll just task Secretary Tolentino to call you. Do not wait for the cabinet meeting, that's too far away. Tapos, he will just inform the local units concerned about it. So today is mga Monday, siguro naman mga Wednesday nandito na yun. They can start just giving the assistance, whatever.
Particularly yung sa cash forward, I think.
Yeah, you should have an express lender in your office for that. It's a crisis. The paperwork can, basta ibigay mo lang sa tao, walang problema. You can fast track it, or the paperwork can come later. Sino pang yung may program sa DOH, yung tulong? Alam ko, pati yung DSWD. Any other agency that has may mga component talaga. Every agency has a component for crisis management. Who else? PAGCOR is really one. Kaya dapat yung lahat ng sugal mapunta sa tao. Sandra, pwede mong dagdagan? Mga kaibiganin mo na yan, si Balutan, para kung awayin, sabi ni Mayor, padagdagan na lang. Maybe they can, you can just give 5. Can I ask for about 30? Okay. Tawagan mo lang si, huwag mo siyang tignan. Sabihin mo lang, si Pinili. Si Pinili na lang, General Pinili. Alam mo bakit puro general yan sila? It's kayo alam ninyo yung sa local government unit, especially one who was handled national. Takes forever for people to move, that's why. Kaya puro general na. But of course, Anyo, Jagger, but madali utusan eh. Then, pronto. So, sino pang
Mr. President?
Yes. Ay, sir, Sir, na,
Tawagin mo na kasi actually marami kang ginagawa eh. May I call on the RD of Dole? Kasi hindi naman ganun kalit ginagawa nila. 30 million po yun. Kaya kung sama mo po ng 70 million, sakto-sakto na po yun para sa cash needs for
Malakas,
3 months. Wala na tayong problema.
bilig about sa mathematics mo, Joey.
Hindi, marami yung pera yan eh. Magkano balance mo sa DRR?
Dole, wala siya kasi bebot dito.
0.4 billion ka, di ba?
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Labas ka para makita ka. Actually, malapit na ho nilang i-implement, sir.
Actually, Mr. President, provided a budget of 30 million. We started the emergency employment program today. The payout will happen between February 8 and February 16. He will be coming over on February 8 and 9 to also provide relief goods. Secretary Bello.
Sir, can I call another of your members? DepEd?
Alam mo kung sino kung may pera, ha? Believe ako sa iyo.
Mr. President, may I call first DepEd to report on TLS kasi fully complied for na nila yung request dito eh. May request? Meron yan.
Meron yan. Meron yan, sigurado. Sabi ko, lahat ng merong component for them. I'm sure. But is Secretary Briones around?
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I am reporting for DepEd. As of last week, DepEd Central Office has already downloaded million for the construction of 163.
How much?
13 million, sir, for the construction of 163 TLS. Now, this report is based on the 6 to 7 kilometer radius danger zone. So after this, we requested for additional funding for 253 more TLS units. And as I was talking with Mayor earlier, I verified from our central office and being processed. Thank you.
Yes, alam pa. So, sino pa, Joey?
Mr. President,
Kasama kami sa Congress.
dalawa kaming former governors dito. Mukhang yung pool po talaga kailangan DSWD po mag-shoulder. Hindi po kakayanin namin. Kaya pakiusap ko yung 50 million, bigay niyo po sa PG. As marami yung silang ginagastusan, animal evacuation, operations po ng primary care, pati po ang curative care po. So, ang suggestion ko po, kasi yung ginagastusan po ng provincial ba, sa tingin ko yung 50, sir, sakto yun po, pero kailangan yung pagkain, DSWD pa rin. May QRF pa naman, sir, di ba? At saka meron ka pa naman disaster fund, di ba? So, combine mo yun, ikaw may pinakamalaking pera dito eh. Pero sir, hingin ko po sana dito, sir, kaya po nila, sir. Ang hingin ko...
Kung sharing dyan eh.
Mr. President, sir.
Governor kayong dalawa. Ano governor kayong dalawa dito?
Dating governor.
Dalawang former governors kasi, sir. Nag-usap po kami kanina na sabihin po na yung naiyaw si Al, nasabihin sa inyo yung 50 po, akma-akma lang po yun sa gagastusin po ng provincial government. Sa mga pang-araw-araw po nila, marami po silang nagastusan. So, ang pakiusap po na sana yung food support na 1 pack every 2 days, i-maintain nyo po. Total, diretso na sa LGU para makafocus ang ating PGA sa kanila pong mahalagang. Sir, ang tanong ko na po, yung cash for work mo ba? Baka na naman yung SLP mo? Sir. Yung SLP mo, sir, pang 4-piece lang yun?
SLP program is not limited
Dapat pag
to-
disaster, sir, universal. Pangalawa, sir, yung cash per work mo, baka paka-burdensan ng mga documentary requirements?
Hindi po. I think we just need to establish yung identity. We need the support
Okay,
of
sir.
local government.
292 pesos per day din para minimum wage sa people, sir.
Imamatch namin kung ano yung binibigay
Katulad
ng DOLE,
ng tupad.
magkasama po sa DOLE.
So, Mr. President, ang natitira lang po talaga, yung 700 po na toilets at 300 na CR. Kasi kailangan nila, kaya yung iba po napipilitang umuwi, kasi nga po talagang congested po yung CR. Ibig sabihin yung toilet bowl. Yung CR po, yung pinapaliguan.
We will solve the problem All of it next week.
Thank you, Mr.
Before the
President.
end of next week. Tapos na ho yan. Kasi, gobernador ka pala. Ako naman, Joy, mayor lang. Hindi, magkasama kami sa Congress. Kaya ako medyo...
Ano pa ako
kasama
eh.
rin kami ni Miss Lagman sa... Mahusayan sila. Ako ang hindi tumagal ng lugar na yan. Louis Toking. So, nandito si Presidential Advisor, si Attorney Panelo. Nandito talaga siya. Si Bicolano talaga to. Francis, ikaw nang mag-coordinate sa lahat. I want it done by the week's end. So, Saturday, tapos na yan. Please deliver na. I count by the hours eh. Ayaw ko yung, and I'm not fan of yung mga committee. Isang tao lang. Kaya general ba? O ikaw yan. Pero mag-committee kayo. Magkatai-tai yan. Si ano. Ito na. Galing Davao rin ito.
Mr. President.
Di ba maranaw ka? Maranaw ka? Ano? Ilonggo? Linti. Mo isang Ilonggo nga. Dito ka pinanganak na, Francis?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, with due respect, after you leave, can you direct DA, SWD, DOLE, and DepEd, regarding the 9 mayors and the governor, to sit down with us, with me? And so most probably, we can submit a report within 48 hours.
Pala, rito pala yung ano eh.
Ito po ako pinanganak, malapit sa Mayon, Ginubatan.
Pwede mong akyatin yung murahin mo doon, galit na galit talaga, walang bibigay ng problema. But anyway, I said, almost every department has a component, money, to deal with crisis. Ang pinakamalaki dyan ang...
To 5 p.m. Unfortunately, it cannot operate up to 9 p.m. kasi hindi pa ho night rated. Kung sakasakali, at sana naman na nag-albruto yung Mayon, pati yung hangin na apektuhan naga, ang gatin ho nating paliparan ay yung nasa Birak saka yung nasa Masbate. Unfortunately, the travel time to connect Legazpi to Birak and Tanduanes more than 3 hours. Nakaabang ho dyan ang DOTR na kung sakaling mangyari ito, meron ho kaming tawid pampasada kung saan we will extend the help, support, cooperation, and even subsidy to transport these people needed from Legazpi to either Birak or Masbate. Ayun po yung aviation network dito sa lugar na to in relation to the explosion of Mayon.
Yung mga tao sa labas, pumunta dito yung mga turista, foreigner, manood lang. Tapos,
Para manood.
bahala na kung mag-assess niya. Hindi mahulog. We will try to stay a while until maybe 6 o'clock and see if we can have a view of... kasi lahat ng nakikita ko doon sa was posted by you, Joey. Ikaw yung prolific na from the Facebook. Totoo. Kaya mo. So, lahat nakikita namin doon, galing sa iyo. So, is still a fire? Meron, may... Ngayon, wala.
Sir, patuloy pang lumalabas yung lava.
Makikita sa gabi?
Sa gabi. Basta walang clouds, kita. Oo. Hindi naman explosion eh. Walang ash. Usok lang ang nakikita. Yun lang po yun. Basta walang clouds, kita yung lava.
And then, manood na lang ako. Ngayon, wala na ba kayong, Joy? Mag-chopper ako, gusto kong pumunta doon. Sinong gustong mapirito? Mahulog tayo doon. At least may representative na Bicolano. Magla ako ng Ilonggo. Magbawa tayo doon. Kung wala nang reklamo. Kung sino ang gusto ko, representative, Ilonggo, Bicolano, si Joy. Damay-damay na tayo. Total, nakuha mo na lahat sa buhay, Joy. No more mountains to climb ka. No more challenges to meet. Nakasakay ka dito. Pag nahulog, isang gobernador, ikaw, ma'am, wag muna wag mo kompromiso tayo. Pareho kami ni Joey, walang dawa. Wala kami problema. Anything else?
Pwedeng sip pa, sir. Thank you very much po on behalf of the Albayan. Meron pa ba? Thank you na ako.
Good evening. Good afternoon po, Mr. President.
Do not worry, I'm staying on until gusto ko makita lang.
Okay.
Yeah, nandito na rin ako, ang ibig sabihin.
Isa pa pong problem namin, yung evacuation rooms. Kasi yung ideal po is one room, 10 families. Kami po umaabot ng 40.
Yes, sabi ko nga, yung overcrowding. We will try to send as many as we can afford. Francis would... we will try to get some. Meron diyang ginagamit ng military na parang malaki talaga. They can also just spare.
And isa pong suggestion po sana, kasi halos every year po, nagpapa-evacuate kami. Dahil po minsan sa Bagyo at saka minsan po sa, eto nga po, pag i-erapang Mayon. Siguro po, parehas kami mga mayors, kailangan po namin ng permanent evacuation centers para po hindi na lagi na lang po every time na may evacuation, yung mga estudyante po laging natitigil po ang kanilang pagpasok. So mas maganda po kung meron po kaming permanent evacuation center.
It's a tourism everywhere. It's always in any situation. The school is public schools become the sanctuary, the refuge.
Yes.
Sige ma'am, well, but wala yan sa budget. But maybe we can consider it. Kayo hindi nyo kaya.
Liit lang po ang budget po namin. Actually, meron po kaming isa. Binigyan po kami ng e-seat. Pero hindi po sapat.
Sige ma'am. I will
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Si Defense.
Mr. President, if I may suggest something to avoid this medyo long-term ito na solution. Now, the Mayon volcano will not stop spewing this lava and acid for the
longest time.
For the longest time. And there is actually a permanent danger zone. Why don't we declare that as a no man's land so that no people will go there anymore? Kasi every time na matapos yung Mayon, babalik sila doon. Until the next explosion comes, babalik. We will have always this problem of evacuation. So kung ma-declare natin yun na no man's land, then it will also maybe we can declare it as part of the Mayon Park, National Park. We can let the trees grow. It can also be a buffer zone for future cascading of the lahars or any flooding that could come from the volcano. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but the first question there is, are there properties privately owned and titled to individuals? Because then you will have to expropriate. Yan ang first consideration dyan. Mayroon, there will be a lot of persuasion to be used, which is a question of money, expropriation na lang. Alam mo naman kung ang gobyerno mag-expropriate, barat man talaga. So, you'd have created a social problem again. So, we can be sure na lahat are all in accord with what is good for public interest. We would be happy to do that. But the first thing that you have to find out is what would be the solution of people who are there stealing the land which they own, untitled in their name. Yan yung isa. Pero boto ako dyan. Kasi itong, lalo na yung may mga active, I don't know if there are dead volcanoes around, but itong Mayon ninyo is very active and yearly it threatens to usok muna. But it would be a good idea, as good as any other's idea to i-maximize mo lang talaga the farthest that they can cause damage. Yes, meron kayong suggestion? Sana ma-harness lang natin ng electricity ang yawa na yan. Wala nang problema kasi. Yes, sir. Mag-take off na daw kami. Talaga, Joey. Pag kinain kami ng sa loob doon, babay na lang. Talaga.
Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes the situation briefing on Mayon Volcano Alert Level 4. Thank you and good day, everyone. Announcement. May we ask the 9 mayors, including Governor Bichara, Department of Labor, Department of Social Welfare, Department of Education, to please remain. You will have a meeting with Secretary Tolentino here in the same place. Ulitin po namin, all mayors,